Hello, 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 everyone. It is that time. I have this book, the Family Christmas Tree book. I'm going to read it. I am going to read it and bring the children around. Let's listen, and parents can supervise. This book is written, you can see it, Tomie dePaola. You guys, you can say it better than I can. This is by Scholastic. I love this author. And we're going to find out a little bit about the Christmas tree. And this may not be what you know about the tree, but I'm going to share it. The Family Christmas Tree book. And look, they are going to a Christmas tree farm. Cut your own. Let's see what's happening here. I did not cut my own tree. It is a old vintage Christmas tree. I did repair it. If you haven't seen that, you can go back and see a video that I did earlier. But here we go. Written and illustrated by Tomie dePaola. That's probably how you say it. Yes, Scholastic Incorporated. Here we go. Heading out to get your own tree. I know. When I was a kid, Daddy would go up in the woods and cut a tree, y'all. And it was one of those sticky, prickly, I can't stand it trees. But Mama always made it look good. And she had those big old lights. I guess these days you can buy those little lights that go on your Christmas tree. Y'all know what I'm doing over here. I'm taking paint off of my finger. I did a little painting today. You guys can see that in another video, but right here, right now, we're moving on with the book. This book was printed first in 1980. Written in 1980 and first printed by Scholastic in 1996. Here we go. Kids are asking a question. Hey, Mom and Dad, how did Christmas trees get started? Yeah, who invented the first one? This little guy's asking. Who invented the first Christmas tree? Well, no one's exactly sure who invented the first one, but decorated trees and branches at Christmas time have been around for a long, long time. Let's turn the page. Let's see what is going on here. I'm going to get in the camera so you can see these pictures. All right. So on this page, in the Middle Ages, it says, December the 24th was called Adam and Eve's Day. On that day, a play was put on in front of the churches. Evergreen branches with apples on them were part of that play, and they represented the tree of paradise. The tree of paradise. Adam and Eve were told not to eat of that particular tree in the Garden of Eve. Garden of Eden. I'll say it right. Okay. I guess people like the bright green branches because when the medieval plays were no longer performed, people brought evergreens and even small fir trees into their home. Look at that. Let's see what's next. Especially in Germany, they put not only apples on the trees, but also paper roses and flat wafers. The apples represented Adam and Eve. The roses represented the Virgin Mary, and the wafers, the Christ child. These trees were called Christbaum. Christbaum. Look at this picture. See the wafers, the apples, and the roses. And then we're over here on this page. Dad and I just read that in Germany they had other Christmas things too, said Mama. One was called a pyramid. It was made out of wood and was decorated with branches and candles. The other was called a Lichtstock. Lichtstock. And it was a flat triangle-shaped rack just for candles. It held candles. Let's look at this picture. Doesn't that look a little bit like our Christmas trees? Now, those candles were not plastic candles. They were real candles. You had to be really careful with them. I used to live in Germany. My middle daughter was born in Germany. And those Christmas trees over there did have candles sitting on them on little candlesticks that you would pinch onto the tree branch. Yes, and once things started getting different and people were able to make Christmas lights that looked like candles. I used to have a set when I lived in Germany that you just pinch that on there and you have a candle. Looks like it's a candle that's lit on your tree, but it's not a real candle. They went away from using real candles because of fire safety. So when I lived in Germany, I had those Christmas candles that looked like they were real candles that you click onto your tree. I'm telling you. Okay, you ready? Famous people had Christmas trees too. In England, Queen Victoria's German husband, Prince Albert, helped to make them very popular. He gave decorated trees to schools and army barracks. And at the palace, let's look, there was a separate tree for each of the young prince and princesses. Each one had their own tree. Look at that. Look at all those pretty lights. Okay, next page. President Teddy Roosevelt of the United States decided not to have a Christmas tree one year because he was worried that too many trees were being cut down. His son Archie was so disappointed that he decorated his own tree and hid it in a closet. Look at Archie. Look at Daddy Teddy Roosevelt. He looks like the Grinch. But Archie decided he was going to decorate his own tree and he hid it in a closet. I love the beautiful lights of the Christmas tree. All right. Of course, Christmas trees aren't cut down from forest anymore. They are grown on farms, Christmas tree farms, like the one that they went to in this book as a special crop. Yes, by the 1930s, however, a Christmas tree became popular and oh, really popular. And now everywhere you look at Christmas time, you'll see Christmas trees. Look at that. I think they picked one out, guys. I think they found their tree. Let's see. They bring it home and they said, "Look, Grandma, look! Look at our tree!" And she said, "I've got the tree stand right here. How beautiful! I have the Christmas tree stand already." It's in her hand. It's in her hand. Look at the kitty. All right. You know, this is the grandmama talking. When I was a little girl, we didn't have a Christmas tree stand. Even though they were being made, they were very expensive. So my father used to nail wood to the bottom of the tree, and once we used all of my mother's flat irons to hold that tree up. That's what Grandma was saying. Yes. Oh, you can see the picture. Look at all of those flat irons. A flat iron, that's not the kind you do your hair with, or that your mama may use to flatten her hair to make it straight. These are irons that are very, very heavy, that were used years ago for this grandma right here. And that piece of wood that Grandpa built to keep that tree standing like it's still standing in the woods, all of those irons are placed on it. Look, here comes Grandma, or yeah, with two more very strong, heavy irons to put down to keep that tree from turning over. But the trees always get very dry. Trees will get very dry. Oh my goodness, if they don't get a drink of water. The real trees that have been cut down, you got to give them a drink to keep the branches from getting really brittle and dry and catching on fire. So, one Christmas, this is Grandma talking, we filled a wash tub with coal and put the tree in the middle of it and added lots of water. I remember we had to pile bricks on top of the coal so that the tree wouldn't fall over. And my mother's rich Aunt Clara, this is Grandma, she's still telling, had a Christmas tree stand that was a music box. As the music played, the tree would go around and around. Look at this, look at this. They were standing there watching that tree. And that fancy, look at that fancy tree right there. It was a music box tree holder that would spin that tree around and around, and the music would play. And we're going to turn the page and see what's next. Uh-oh. Mama said. Oh, let's see. No, it looks like Papa said. Okay, let's test the lights. And then Mama said, "Did you kids know that the first lights on Christmas trees were real candles?" That's what I shared earlier. Yes, indeed, they were real candles. There's a box with lights in it, and there's a box over here with ribbons. Now, Martin Luther was a man who was out walking one Christmas Eve, and he saw a fir tree on a hill. It was surrounded by stars. Oh my goodness. It looked so beautiful that he decided to surprise his family with a special Christmas tree. So he put candles on the branches and lit them, and the tree looked as though it had stars on it. Look at that. Look at it. Martin Luther. Oh my goodness. The tree looked like it was filled with stars. Grandma, did you ever have a tree with real candles on it? And that's the little girl. She's asking her grandma. Look, this looks like the tree I had in Germany, y'all. Yes, indeed. Real candles were real pretty, said Grandma. But they could only be lit for a short time because they were also very dangerous. They could start a fire. See that? Look at those candles. Those were real. The first electric lights, guess when they came out? That's the kind I have on my tree. They came out in 1882. Guys, do you know it's 2020 now? The year 2020. But in the year 1882, the electric Christmas lights came out. They were on a tree at the home of Edward Johnson. Now, if you know something about history, Edward Johnson was a friend of Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison is the one who invented electric light bulbs. Oh my goodness, light bulbs, excuse me. So in 1895, Grover Cleveland was the first president to use electric lights on the tree in the White House. Get out of here. Each bulb had to be wired separately on the tree, and strings of lights like the ones that we have and like the ones that I have over here around my little covered bridge. Those string lights were not invented or made available until 1907. That was still over 100 years ago almost. That's a long time. Oh, here they are. Looking at all of the different lights. Twinkle lights. Now there are all kinds of Christmas tree lights. Little ones that glitter like stars. Lights that blink on and off. Blink, blink, twinkle, twinkle, blink. Lights that bubble. My mother Bays, loved the ones that bubble. She had a tree with these bubbly lights on it. I can remember it so well. And then, of course, are the ones that look like candles. I had this on my tree in Germany. And now, here comes the question. Here's the little boy. He said, "How come you put the lights on the tree first, Dad?" Okay, let's get the answer. Let's see what he said. Dad said, "Because it's easier to move them around before the ornaments get put on." Okay, look at them putting on those lights. He is standing on a ladder, getting the lights all the way to the tippy top. And there's Grandma helping. She is doing her part. Yes, indeed. Let's see what's coming up next. And here, Mama's saying, are all the ornaments. Oh, look at that. And Mom, our teacher, told us that once people had to make all their own ornaments. They wrapped nuts in pretty paper, and they used ribbons and cookies and all kinds of stuff to make ornaments. We make some of our own ornaments too, said little brother. Looky, looky. They're digging in there to see. Oh, look at the ornaments. The box says Christmas ornaments. And look, little brother has found some ornaments that were homemade. Yes, and we even have some old ornaments that belong to your great-grandparents, said Mama. And Grandma says there are tin ones, cotton ones, wax ones, spun glass, and even paper ornaments. Look at all of those. I'm telling you, we can make our own ornaments, guys. I have a lot of homemade ornaments on the tree behind me. And look at these beautiful glass ones, said Grandma. Look, look, look. Look at all those ornaments, birds, Santas, all of those precious. Did any of y'all know that almost all the glass ornaments used to come from one village in Germany called Loschka? They were all made by hand. American businessmen, including Mr. Woolworth, began importing them, and by 1930, 95% of all glass ornaments hanging on American Christmas trees came from this village. It wasn't until 1939 that glass ornaments were made in America. Hi, Kitty, looking at the ornaments. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Could somebody hand me a star? Said Papa. But why do we put a star? Why do we put the star on the top of the tree, Grandma? And her answer is, our family uses a star to remind us of the Star of Bethlehem. Oh, there are so many different ways to decorate a Christmas tree. The main thing is that every family's Christmas tree is very special to that family. Okay, I think they've got everything on there. Ready? Ready? I think Sister's going to turn out the lights and see about this tree. Are you guys ready? I have the lights off in here, except for that tree light and the lights over there. Let's see. Ooh, look at that tree. Look at the star on the top. Oh, how beautiful. I think it turned out great. And there they are looking at the tree. Guys, check it out. The family Christmas tree. Everyone has their own ideas about their Christmas tree. And there's a little angel ornament to make right there, guys. How cool is that? Everybody's Christmas tree is decorated with their own special ornaments. At my house, I have had different Christmas trees over the years. Usually, I have an angel at the top of my Christmas tree. I used to have a star at the top of my Christmas tree. But there are so many different ways that we can decorate for our Christmas. Some people don't use a tree at all because they don't think that a tree decorated for Christmas is their tradition. They prefer to do other things. They just prefer to light candles or to give gifts. But in my family, I believe we have pretty much always decorated with the Christmas tree. Most of the time, it was a real tree when I was growing up. Not until I went off to college, I believe, did we ever have a, what is the word, artificial Christmas tree. One that is not real. But look at mine. That's not a real tree, but I love it. I love, love, love it. And it is very special to have a Christmas tree, to have fun decorations, to be able to celebrate. I have a beautiful, I'm going to bring it over and show you, one of my favorite decorations. And some of you may be like, that's okay, but we all have our own. So I'm going to crawl over here so I can stay out of the camera and get my very important special Christmas ornament or decoration. Now, I made this year, and I know people are like, okay, you made it. Well, this was a decoration that I found and bought. There's something missing. I don't know what it was, but it's like there should be something sitting right there. And this is St. Nicholas, or some people call him Santa Claus. And this is a snowman, a smiling, happy snowman. I know I don't have like lights over here, so this may be a little wee bit blurry. But when I realized that something should be right here, and I was opening up all of my Christmas decor, I'm gonna show you what I opened up. You guys ready for this? I'm gonna glue it on the top of this. Let me do this very carefully because this isn't glass, but it's resin, and I'm almost ready to drop it. I should have already glued it, but I'm going to try to lift it up here. Not having a whole lot of luck. I'm just going to put it right on there and let you guys read it. Now, this St. Nicholas and snowman appear to be giving praise or raising their hands in awe of whatever was here. Guess what it says? Jesus is the reason for the season, and there is the nativity. Look, there's baby Jesus, Mother Mary, and her husband Joseph. Look at that. And look what it says. Jesus is the reason for the season. This is so true. And I'm popping this right on top of there because of the way that the Santa or St. Nicholas is standing with his arms outstretched, receiving baby Jesus. Don't you think that goes together really, really well? And I know some people are out there going, don't put that together. Come on. I'm not going to mess it up for the little people. I'm just going to say, God bless you, everyone. Don't be a bah humbug. Celebrate the season with joy. And remember, Jesus is indeed the reason for this season.